The Ink and Paint Club podcast is intended for mature audiences only, so don't tell your parents! Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, your weekly home for animation reviews and discussions.
Hello, everybody. If you're listening to this, we've killed the original hosts and are wearing their skin to blend in with society. I'm Dustin, and this is...
I'm Phil. You may not know me very much, but I am best friends with Dustin.
Yeah. So we're recording this since your normal hosts, your regular hosts, are a little busy. So, they were looking for some guest hosts and figured we'd step in and fill their shoes. So, this week, we're not going to be talking about cartoons, per se. We're going to be talking about video games that look like cartoons, huh? Isn't that something?
Our favorite.
Yeah. Just talking about games with art styles we enjoy for the next couple hours or so. How about we get started? All right. Video games with neat, cool, cartoony art styles. So,
you have the list, so you go down the line, I guess.
All right. In that case, I'll start out with one that we both really love. Let's talk about Rayman for a while.
Okay, I'm down. I love Rayman.
I too love Rayman. How about we start at the beginning? Let's talk about the first Rayman. What do you think of the first Rayman and its art style?
It's weird. Like, I actually was thinking about that. Like, the original Rayman art style, it sort of reminds me of, like, those, like the actual French comics, since, it originated from France. So it sort of, like, gives off, like, an Asterix feel a bit.
I could see that.
Like, the way it looks, it definitely looks like it came from a French comic series. Because it's cartoony, but it hasn't hit full cartooniness like the newer games have.
Yeah. I think that's how I feel about it too. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of how it looks, but I like it. I think
very cutesy.
Yeah, I think it's very well done, and like, I don't know. I don't want to say I dislike it, but
oh no. I mean, it's a beautiful looking game. Yeah.
Yeah. I really love how those first forest levels look. All the colors, just everything wiggling around.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, a lot of the levels are really not that interesting to look at. The forest levels, like you said, definitely are. Bandland is, like, it looks great, but there's a few levels in there where it's just storm and clouds with platforms, and it's just like, I guess it could be better looking.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I felt. Like, they look good, but a lot of them aren't really all that interesting. I mean, even those first levels are pretty much just like a standard enchanted forest sort of look. Yeah,
exactly. But the characters themselves, like, they can range from, like, really cool looking, like, the crab boss, whose name escapes me right now.
His name's Crabman.
Crabman. I think it's like Scops or something. Mr. Scops or something.
I don't know, so...
Yeah, I don't remember. I haven't played the original in, like, forever. I know I have it somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you could be totally lying to me, and I would believe whatever you said about it, whatever his name was. His name's Charles the Lonesome Cougar. And I would be like, that sounds about right.
Yeah, he decided, Billy the silly crab was not good enough.
I do really like how Mosquito looks in this game.
Oh yeah, Mosquito always looked good, and it's no wonder they keep bringing him back.
Yeah, he's kind of the character that stands out the most to me. He looks cool with, like, his huge eyes, his huge crystal ball eyes.
Considering that they even threw him in as a cameo in Beyond Good and Evil, pretty much they're probably like, "Whoa, we love Mosquito. Let's just keep him around forever."
Yeah, I mean, especially when we get to Rayman Origins, he's kind of one of the only characters they really brought back.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, they brought back the hunter guys from the first game. They just, stylized them a bit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They lost the eyes on the helmet, but now they're more crazy, deranged looking.
They look like Waluigi if he had a disease.
They do.
He looks like a diseased Waluigi Gangrene Gang member.
Yeah, that's true. You're so right.
But we'll get back to Rayman Origins. Let's go to Rayman 2.
Well, I'll just throw this out now. It's like I know people love Rayman 2, and I do not in the slightest think it's a terrible game at all. I mean, I absolutely think it's great. I just feel it's a bit overrated in my opinion, but people will probably hate me for that statement.
I kind of agree. I mean, it's been a while since I've played it, but I remember liking it a lot. Just I know a lot of people say it's one of the best 3D platformers ever.
Well, I could believe that, but I mean, I just prefer Origins and Legends over any other Rayman game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm glad they went back to that 2D style rather than going... Like, I would not be upset if they did not make another 3D Rayman.
Oh yeah, well, I think if they made like another 3D Rayman, they should do it like that old E3 trailer for Legends. Keep the cartoony look, but go full 3D again.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still play it, but I also wouldn't be upset if we just got another 2D game just because those look so good.
Yeah, back to 2 though. That's the worlds were not really, they were just more dark looking because I know they're going for a more darker story with this, but a lot of the characters look pretty cool. Like, who's the big guy with the muscles?
Is his name like Clark or something?
Clark, that's it. His name was Clark. Yeah, like he had a cool design, and the dragon in the water area had a cool design, and then of course the game introduced Glowbox to us, who we all love. And I'm not being sarcastic. We absolutely love Glowbox.
Everyone loves Glowbox, whether they know it or not. Glowbox is the best character.
Even if he is voiced by John Leguizamo sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, since it's been so long since I've played it, I don't really have that much to say about the art style. I remember thinking, like, some of the environments looked really cool. Like, it has a lot of, like, really twisty, turny, like, plants and vines and stuff all over the place.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That, again, in the earlier levels, when you have all that, in the later levels, it's like, it's caves and darkness.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going back to it again sometime.
Mm-hmm.
But after Rayman 2 came Rayman 3, which has an art style I do really love. Like, I would say that's probably the best part about that game.
Well, yeah, 3 also brought back, like, the comical humor.
Yeah.
It did not take itself seriously sometimes.
Yeah. Which, I know you definitely prefer, and I definitely prefer.
Oh, yeah, I remember when I first played it a while ago, and I hit that first disco stage where you had to surf on it. I was like, whoa, this looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I really like the personality of Rayman 3 a lot, and I really like the designs of, what are they called? The hoodlums.
Oh yeah, the hoodlum, the Oogie Boogie looking guys.
Yeah, the sack people.
Yeah, but they were cool. The only downfall of 3 was, as much as I love Billy West, his Murphy is something to be desired for.
Yeah, I mean... Billy, what you and me have talked about this before. Billy West is great, but he not so great when they bring him into the Rayman franchise.
Yeah, I mean, even the short-lived cartoon series where he's Rayman, it's like, Billy, what are you doing? Go back to Futurama.
Yeah. He's Billy West doing like a New York style accent.
Yeah, it definitely does not fit Rayman at all. It just came out really awkward and weird.
Yeah.
Just like the show, awkward and weird.
Yeah, exactly. So even before Rayman Origins and Legends, there were the Rayman Raving Rabbids games. And I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about those. I mean, overall, they looked pretty similar to
3.
3. Yeah, like Rayman had his updated model. The rabbits look nice and cartoony. Honestly, I think it's the game I like most with the Rabbids, other than Rabbids Go Home, because they... Was that the only game where they really varied their designs up? I mean, they had like those
Yes,
huge
it was,
ones.
because all the second game really did was, oh, let's just throw them in a bunch of silly costumes, and maybe one of them can be like really big. But like they had like that the Bane looking rabbit in the first game, like he was like sinister looking.
I love that design. It's really cool.
Yeah,
And
but like every game after that, they just went to standard rabbits, but they wore costumes and acted a lot sillier rather than sadistic.
Oh, they're just silly.
Well, like even in the first game, like they're torturing like the little glow box kids in Rayman, but in the second game, they're just like, let's just make them run around screaming at people.
Let's just have them scream at real life humans.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, with the Rabbids games, you got that spin-off Rabbids Go Home, which I absolutely love.
I still need to finish playing it.
Yeah, you do.
Like, I played it a long time ago, like around when it came out, but I just never beat it. Someday.
I bet
I want to go back.
Oh yeah, go ahead and go back. If I went back and looked at my stats for it, I bet you that probably has, outside of Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, it probably has the most gameplay time, because I would usually spend most of my time in the Create a Rabbid mode.
Oh yeah, I remember that well.
Yeah, all the pictures and drawings I made of all the rabbits.
Yeah, you made a shitload of them.
Yeah, I did. I made a Strong Bad one and Deadpool one.
I think I made like a couple, but it just took so long. I just didn't have the patience for it.
I played that game to religious status, I bet.
Yeah.
It was just outside of it. I don't know, just something about it. I just absolutely loved it. Like the art, like the human art style was simplistic, but it was fun. The Rabbids were actually platforming rather than mini gaming outside of the little mini games to earn like extra health, but like they were so brief. And of course, you got the absolutely fantastic soundtrack everybody loves.
Oh yeah. I think the one thing I remember most about it are the junkyard shots. I just remember the shots of the moon and having some cool colors.
Yeah, I honestly wish they would like either remake it or make a sequel, because the Wii didn't have a screenshot feature, and those would be good for screenshots. If anything, you can always like illegally download it for it. Touchy.
Yeah, I remember really liking the human designs too, just looking weird, having weird faces.
Oh yeah, and then
the guys in the suits, the
hat. Oh yeah, the hazmat guys. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, those are some cool designs.
Yeah, and then even the dogs have really funny cartoony designs.
Mm-hmm.
How about we talk about Origins now? I think we talked more about Rabbids than any of the other Rayman games so far.
Yeah. So Rayman Origins is when the series was brought back in full force, back in 2D.
Remember the first E3 trailer they showed of that? Like they were building up the UB art, and then all of a sudden they brought that trailer in. I was just in awe. I remember you being at work and I was watching it live, and I was texting the crap out of you saying, "Dude, you got to get home ASAP."
Oh, I still remember seeing it. I remember thinking, oh man, that looks awesome. And like between it and Legends, I still think I prefer Origins just because of just how like crisp and nice the characters look.
Oh yeah, definitely. I totally get you.
Yeah, I mean both look wonderful, but Origins just kind of more personally what I enjoy.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about more about that in a moment. But like even today, I still go back and look at that trailer and look how beautiful, like how it looks in terms of the level design and how the characters look. And I was just like, man, they brought Rayman back and made him way better than usual.
Oh, definitely. Like whenever I'm drawing, like whenever I need that motivation kick or inspiration, I put that trailer on.
Mm-hmm.
It just always does the trick.
Oh yeah, I mean, like they brought Glowbox back, and they brought the Teensies back, and Batilla. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, and then her design got way better. Like I know that they sexualize that, and I'm using that in quotations, but I think it works better because it's a cuter design. I mean, I'm not gonna say that the design's not like, oh, I really love that, but I just feel like it works better, and it's cartoony proportions, really.
Yeah, exactly. And just
the game's more cartoony because, like, when they first showed it off, they showed Rayman and Glowbox punching each other, and they had like these crazy expressions that weren't in the previous games.
Oh yeah. Smacking the crap out of each other, knocking each other's teeth out, eyes coming off of their heads.
Yeah, and I just thought that was the funniest thing. It's like, wow, this is super cartoony, and I love it. Why haven't we gotten stuff like this before?
Yeah, like, I feel like Rayman 3 started bringing the series back into that comedy direction, but it was more funny in, like, its dialogue and stuff rather than, like, the way it actually looked. Like, it still looked nice and cartoony.
Oh, yeah, because Rayman 3 still had a lot of darker elements to it.
Yeah. But then Rayman Origins leans more towards that cartoony slapstick vibe, which is always good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And one thing I really like about it, and I didn't really think about it until I was playing it the other day, was there's not a whole lot of dialogue, really only just like the Magician and the Bubble Dreamer, but I really like how the dialogue boxes look. They just look, nice, simple, colorful, just really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Origins looks great. Characters are cartoony, backgrounds are nice, wonderfully painted.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to Legends.
Now I know like Legends loses like the more crisp look, but I think because most of the levels you're like jumping into painting, so I'm pretty sure they were going for like, what if they were more watercolored looking?
Yeah, the painter style definitely works for them, and like I said, I still think Legends looks great. Like, I'd say both games look wonderful.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of levels I think look the best in that game. Like, what world has the best look?
What, in Legends or Origins?
Let's do both. What world do you think has the best look to it in Origins first?
It's really hard to say. I wanna say the water levels because they were so colorful, and I love like the mix of the blues, how like a lot of the rock areas look, and then when you go into like the seaweed covered area, that looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I don't care for water levels, I think the way Rayman did it was a lot better. It's like, okay, I'm adoring how it looks, and then like the crab enemies in there were really cool looking.
Oh yeah,
and the fish enemies were too.
I would say that water levels are at least getting better than they used to be, because I mean, like, the water levels in these Rayman games and like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze were good.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that has to do with making the swimming controls a lot easier, less frustrating to deal with.
Oh yeah, okay. What about you? What levels did you absolutely love in Origins?
I'm going to say the mountain levels, like the last world levels. They just had some really cool colors, like the stormy clouds. And those like red cave levels with like the other
the glowbox looking dudes with the beards.
Yeah, the red ones. Yeah, they were really cool.
And they were. I liked them a lot too.
Yeah, like those levels just had those cool stormy clouds, the green grass. Oh man, they were just really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now what about Legends?
That's really tough because, like, I absolutely love Teensies in Trouble. Toad Patrol's really not Toad Patrol. That's an old show. The Toad one, the second world. The whole Day of the Dead theme world is really great. The whole game is just every level is like beautiful in that game.
Yeah.
It's really hard to choose because the levels are more like varietied up. Like, one level you're like traveling through like a giant kitchen, and then like you're running through like a bunch of cake, running away from masked wrestlers.
Yeah.
But just every level in that game just pops up. Like, I'm so excited to go into any level just because it looks cool.
Agreed. I think for me, I would pick the Fiesta de los Muertos world.
That's you being biased. You love anything related to that holiday.
I do. It's super cool looking.
It is. I'll agree with you there. It definitely is one of the better, like, probably one of the better looking worlds, because they really took advantage of like how that holiday is supposed to be represented.
Yeah, taking advantage of the theme, and like it's all the levels are just so colorful. Like the first level has a bunch of like it's like really pinkish in the background, which is cool. But then the next level, it's like more greenish. It's like almost like a bunch of garbage and like dirty dishes and stuff. So it has a nice variety.
Oh yeah, and then the music stage that plays "Eye of the Tiger." That level's
Ooh.
beautiful looking. Yeah, because the flowers are like flying everywhere, and you're jumping through the candy skulls.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite of the music stages for that exact reason.
Plus,
It just looks so awesome.
Not to mention that the Eye of the Tiger remix is fantastic.
Agreed. That one and Glue Glue are my favorites.
Oh yeah, mine's probably the Eye of the Tiger and probably Orchestral Chaos, just because I'm very biased with my orchestral music.
Oh, I know it. That's a great one. Like all of them are great.
Oh yeah, they're definitely all great.
I definitely hope if we get another Rayman game anytime soon, and I'm not going to be upset if we don't get one right away. I know it's been a while.
Yeah, but you gotta remember they're porting Legends to Switch first again.
Yeah, and I know I'm going to buy it again.
But yeah, like you were saying, you want more music stages, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not expecting them to add much to the Switch port, but I mean, just being able to have it as both a console and portable version, I guess I gotta get in on it again.
Yeah, I'll probably debate on that. I probably own it like on a few systems already.
Yeah, like I had it on Wii U, but then I got it on the Xbox One since I had Origins on there too on the 360.
Yeah, I have. Shamefully, I have it on all three systems. I bought them cheap though, so that way, whatever system's hooked up, I could just play it.
There you go. I mean, it's cheap enough now anyway. Who cares?
I bought them when they were like super on sale. So you know what? I love Legends. I could just play it on any system right now.
Oh, definitely. Well, okay, I guess that's it for Rayman. We kind of exhausted all the games. I mean, I can't think of any other ones that stand out. I mean, there's like those spin-off ones that no one really played.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and pick the next games we talk about?
Oh Lord. How about we discuss the one-offs?
All right, that's a good idea. That's a good plan.
So the games nobody played but us.
Yeah, I mean, we love them. So when we say one-shots, we mean those weird, cartoony games that only got one game in their series across all these different systems, like Freaky Flyers. Well, Freaky Flyers was on all of them.
Well, most of them were on all of them. I think, weirdly enough, Xbox got like the most of them.
Yeah, that's true. They got Freaky Flyers, Cell Damage, Whacked.
Go-Go Hypergrime was on the GameCube.
Yeah, did PS2... I don't think PS2 got any that only they got, did they?
I want to say they did.
I never had a PS2, so I'm not sure. I might have missed one.
They mostly got like the Japanese games. That War of the Monsters was sort of cartoony.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. What's that one?
I don't know. A giant monster thing, but I think it was like a huge arena you can run and jump around and fight another monster.
Oh, okay.
It's on the PS4, PS2 classics though.
Oh, okay.
And see what else was there.
Sounds cool.
Oh yeah, I never played it, but it looked fun. I heard it's good.
Yeah, but yeah. So which one of these should we start with? I mean, we like all of them.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh yeah, Xbox had that Kung Fu game, but I never played that.
I never played that one either, but looking at NeoGAF, I see a lot of people liking it.
Yeah,
Like,
that was the era where those type of games came out by the bundles, but no one ever played them.
Yeah, I mean, they mostly got like very middling reviews anyway, but I mean, we like them.
Oh yeah,
we like them a lot.
They were charming. Let's start with cell damage and work our way up because I have a feeling we'll talk more about whacked and freaky flyers the most.
Yeah. And didn't Cell Damage come out like near the beginning of that console
Yes,
lifespan?
yeah, because I remember it being like it came out for GameCube like in January. Like GameCube was barely out and it came out for that.
Yeah. Were there any differences between the versions, or were they all pretty much the same?
They were pretty much the same.
Okay.
Yeah, the only difference one was the HD remake they made. They added like a little slightly better looking graphics, but other than that, they're all basically the same game.
Yeah. So, Cell Damage is pretty fun. I mean, it's nothing amazing, but it's a nice little time waster game.
The designs are some of them. It's a very mixed bag for the design wise of the characters. Like Foulmouth looks cool, Cinder looks cool, Violet looks cool, but the other three characters, I'm just like, I don't like them as much.
What's the nerd's name again?
Who knows? I don't care.
Who cares? Yeah.
The bot.
I mean, those three you mentioned are pretty much the only three I play as anyway.
Yeah, like I only remember the constructions worker's name was Bruno or something.
Like BT Bruno or
yeah,
something?
that's it. That's what it was. That's all I remember. I don't remember him being... I don't know. Their designs were just, like, not cartoony. They were just, like, standard, oh, he's a big construction worker. Oh, he's a nerd.
Yeah. I kind of like the art style for the game. I feel like the character designs are pretty simple, but they have a weird sort of charm to them.
I mean, even the unlockable characters, like T-Rex, he was cool looking, because he was just a dinosaur in a big... like a cheesy jumpsuit or something.
Oh yeah. See, I don't think I've unlocked any of the other characters really. Like I've been playing it like every now and then, like whenever I need to waste time for something on I have it on the Vita, so I just kind of pop it on whenever I just want to play.
You have to play like all three levels and all three types of games to unlock each character for their specific world.
Oh, okay. I like how the environments look too. Pretty much like the characters, just simple. They get the job done, not too.
Oh yeah, they
pretty nice.
Because the game was like, it's pretty much Twisted Metal, but with cell shaded cartoony graphics. Like, but even the levels were cool, like you said, because like a lot of the environments were like really rubbery, like cartoons.
Yeah. Is it like one of the first cell shaded games?
I think so, yeah. I remember it making a big deal about it.
I think it worked out. It's like the HD version still looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, the cutscenes, are not good looking.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell it was the first of its kind because the cutscenes are just like, whatever. We tried.
Just throw something together. These stupid kids will buy anything.
Yeah, they were going to make a sequel, but then they dropped that, which really sucks because the concept art they released looked really cool.
Yeah, I'd be fine with a sequel, especially one that kind of built on what they had. Because, like, while it's fun, it's pretty bare bones. Like, there's not a whole lot to it.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's just 12 worlds and then characters, and then that's it.
Yeah, the music's really good, though.
Mm-hmm.
I see it on a lot of, like, best of game music lists.
That's weird. I mean, I like the music, but I don't know if I would consider it best of.
Yeah, I might need to go back and, like, listen to each track individually, because when you're playing that game, there's, like, a whole lot of explosions and cartoony sound effects and characters.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that game.
Yeah, you don't really get to focus on the music that much.
No, you don't.
But, yeah, Cell Damage, pretty good. Moving on. What's the next one that came out? Well, let's talk about Go Go Hyper Grind before we get to the others.
Go-Go Hypergrind was also a big deal because they brought Spumco artists into it.
Yeah, honestly, you wouldn't really tell looking at some of them. Like, some of them have that Spumco look, but a lot of them are kind of like would you look at Decker and say, he fits right in with the Ren and Stimpy show?
No, not at all. But that's the finalized design. Like, they had some concept art floating around somewhere. I think IGN still has them. Like,
oh, yeah, that's right.
they were definitely Spumco looking.
Before they kind of went through the corporate meat grinder.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, even Gigi, she had, like, that Spumco look, and now she's a mix. Like, part of her, like, looks really goofy, but part of her looks like, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm guessing part of it, like, I think part of it had to do with being from a Japanese studio.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know if Japanese development studio and Spumco really mix all that well.
I would argue against that because some Japanese games like have a really cartoony look to them.
That's true.
I guess maybe this company. Well, no, that's not entirely true because like Mr. Smith and the Johnson brothers, they're very Spumco looking in their final designs.
That's true. Those are probably the two I think look most Spumco.
And Kevin, the instructor, he's definitely George Licker looking.
Yeah, he's basically George Licker, but taller and weirder looking.
And an instruction guy.
He's always smiling.
Yeah, and he has the weirdest voice. He sort of sounds like that one guy who's always in the Spumco cartoons.
Yeah. Oh, I think another reason they maybe couldn't pull off making them look 100% Spumco was just because maybe the technology wasn't quite there. So they had to make them look like maybe a little more rigid to get them to work in the gameplay a little better. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because they use like a weird physics to the game where the characters can like squash and stretch and still keep their look, but they're like weird looking.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't go too exaggerated with the characters because they all had a certain amount of things they needed to do with the models.
Yeah,
so it probably would have been a lot of work.
Yeah, because they all had like their own special moves and whatnot.
Yeah, but the characters still look really good despite that. Like, especially like the cell shading in this game, I would say is even better than cell damages. It looks really nice.
Like, because it's not like complete pop out, but like it's like a mix. Like, there's some cell shaded, and then some of it looks like it's painted on.
Yeah, I will say the environments definitely look Spumco-esque.
Especially Toon City.
Great. I love
Toon City definitely does because you have like the Sody Pop looking billboard with the breast hanging out.
Yeah, and like I think my favorite level might actually be the western level. Well, I don't know. I don't want to make that claim because it's been so long since I've played all of the levels.
Yeah,
like I only played up to the western.
I like the Tokyo looking level myself.
Yeah, I remember that one. I'll need to replay that sometime soon. Like, you know, it's kind of just your typical. There's not a whole lot to the gameplay.
Oh yeah,
in this one either.
It's a good time waster.
Yeah. I mean, like, when you're playing, do you really do that many skateboard tricks, or do you usually just try to chain the cartoon appeals together?
I usually chain them, because that gets you the most points anyway.
Yeah, I like rarely ever skateboard unless I really need to. Like, sometimes I grind around. But, I mean, the appeal moves are what get you the points.
Mm-hmm.
What character do you normally use in Go-Go Hypergrind?
Ugh. Used to be when I first played it was Sally, but I sort of just dwindled off into using Gigi and the Johnson brothers.
Yeah, I usually do Gigi and Mr. Smith because monkey characters are cool.
He looks like a hobo.
Yeah. What?
He looks like a hobo monkey.
He does. He has like the broken top hat,
and he has like that racist like voice to him.
Oh yeah.
I can't. I'm not doing an impression. He sounds like those old like.
He's a very jive monkey.
Yeah, exactly. He has that jive voice to him.
But how about those cutscenes for that game? They're
they're very jumpy.
Yeah, And like not only that, but like I don't know, like especially in like Decker's cutscenes, they try to bring like story-driven drama to it.
Yeah, but they don't even dwell into that. Like, it's only for that cutscene specifically, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. I like seeing all the characters interact with one another. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, but they only, like, both, whatever character you're using, they only use whatever cutscene they're in. They don't, like, all interact together. They only interact with certain characters.
Yeah. If, like, I know it'll probably never happen, but it'd be cool if we got a sequel. I'd be down with more characters.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. But yeah, Go Hypergrind, it's a pretty good game.
It's alright, I like it enough.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, not a whole lot to the gameplay. I mean, I never actually do much of the actual skateboarding parts. But it's fun enough.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, I'd say the visuals alone are worth playing it for.
Oh, and the butt rock.
Oh yeah, that great stupid soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. All right, you pick the next of the one-offs.
All right, let's go Whacked. Whacked is pretty cool.
Whacked is definitely one of those games you would not expect to find fun, but it really is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't get very good reviews. I was looking at its reviews. It got mainly like 5s, 6s, 4s, you know, like really in betweens. But I don't know. I like it doesn't have a whole lot to it, but what it does pretty well. Like I always think it's a blast playing it.
Oh yeah, I mean, like for one of those early Xbox games, it does not look that dated at all. Like if you made an HD remake of it, it would look pretty great still, I think.
Yeah, I wish we got an HD remake. That'd be, especially since it was like one of the first Xbox Live games.
Oh yeah, I mean the models still look pretty great. The cutscenes are still animated really well.
Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much just do what Voodoo Vince did and just port it over with, like, a higher resolution, maybe slightly up-res textures.
Yeah, and then, like... Yeah, exactly.
So, Whacked is a game show game where you play as a whole variety of wacky, cartoony characters. And, you know, you just kind of do the... whatever it wants you to do. There's like different gameplay types, deathmatch, capture the flag, not capture the flag, King of the Hill.
Mm-hmm. The chicken.
Well, there's kind of a capture the flag with the trophy.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much hold on to the trophy and win. It's sort of like the shine game in Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly. There's dodgeball, collect the stars. I'd say collect the stars might be my least favorite. It's just kind of
it's because you're it's because you're by yourself and all you do is kill chickens.
Yeah. Are there any other gameplay modes I'm missing, or was that it?
You said dodgeball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Still, that's a pretty good variety, having all those different gameplay types on all these different levels.
Oh yeah, definitely. And oof. What else is there to
it? Yeah, all these games are pretty bare bones.
The weapon variety and then the special varieties help a lot too with that.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite of the weapons?
Oh, thanks for putting me on the spot here. I really like the baseball bat, for one.
Baseball bat's great, especially on levels like Jeffrey's Kitchen.
Oh yeah, where you could just knock the shit out of them. Definitely one of them. I like the freeze ray.
I freeze you.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to talk about those because that's a whole different animation thing to the game.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything. Probably like the shit, man. Well, yeah, those are good. What about you?
I really like the chicken gun, the egg gun.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that thing.
That's a great one. That really kills him pretty fast.
Yeah, cheap ass weapon.
Another one of my favorites is probably the pitchfork, which is pretty much exactly like the baseball bat, but
you can hold on to them and then just toss them backwards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, are there any others I like? I'm trying to think well, I mean, I guess that's about it. There's like the staple gun, which is alright.
The hammer, but you have like no control over it.
Yeah. I think the there's throwing stars, right? Am I remembering right?
Yes, the landmines is what they call them.
Yeah.
But they look like the stars you collect.
Yeah, that's right. Those are good. What character do you play as normally?
Eugene, the Canadian goose-looking guy who talks like Rick Moranis.
Eugene's probably one of the best ones based on that voice alone.
Yeah, pretty much. I love Canadian accents. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, Eugene's probably one of mine. I would say him and Lucky. I think Lucky was the first one I ever played as when I first got the game, way back when.
Yeah, Eugene was the first I played as, and then when I unlocked Charity, I used her too, because she was crazy looking.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had to unlock characters in that game. It was her, Lance, and Otto, right?
Yeah, and our host, Fantastic.
Fantastic!
Otto sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, design-wise, he's pretty cool looking, but I never used him.
Yeah, I never use him, but his dialogue's kind of funny.
Yeah, plus, how can you not like a guy who sleeps all the time who, like, just sits on a walking chair?
Yeah, he's living the dream.
That's right, the chair was alive, too. It was its own character.
Yeah, the chair's the one that did all the work. He was carrying Otto around.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of characters, though, remember how they used to push Tooth a lot, yet he's, like, one of the most boring characters in the game?
Yeah, his design's pretty cool, but, like, it really comes down to just not being able to talk.
Yeah, because a lot of the characters have, like, a lot of funny dialogue in the game.
Yeah, and why would you choose a character to play as when he doesn't have funny dialogue?
Well, we'll get to that one later. You'll see why.
Oh, okay. But, how about levels? What levels stand out to you?
Oh, El Baño, which is pretty much a giant Mexican toilet upside down. And, Christmas Tree.
Christmas Tree is a great one. It has lots of great colors to it.
Oh yeah, definitely, and a lot of great hazards.
Mm-hmm. Like the train driving around.
Yeah, and then like one of them's like strategic, like you gotta find a battery and then you gotta take it to the tank if you really want to use it.
Yeah, that's cool. And like how you can like go behind the presents and like go up the stairway to get like to a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
That is a pretty cool level.
Yeah, it's a great. And then the music for that level is great too, because it's just like a ska rock Christmas song.
Oh, definitely. The music in the whole game is really cool.
Yeah, because it definitely has that game show flair to it.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm realizing, we're talking about the art aspects, but we're kind of just talking about the games as a whole, which is fine with me.
Well,
just talking about what we
they're
think of them.
cartoony games. That's pretty much what the whole topic is about. Cartoony looking games.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about how it's cartoony. We talked about how it's cool looking.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, the characters are really cool looking.
Yeah, like I don't think there's any that I particularly dislike. Like even Tooth, even though he doesn't have funny dialogue, he is a pretty creative design.
Well, yeah, I mean, even Lance is funny looking and he has funny dialogue.
Yeah, Lance is one that I never really play as, but he is funny. I like him as a character.
Mm-hmm, me too. Who voices him again? Wally Wingert or something?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, Wally Wingert.
Yeah, so he definitely he brings the personality to that.
Yeah, definitely. Who else has he voiced? Like what are some
others? He was like Almighty Tallest Red.
But... Yeah, Tallest Red. That's like the
only other
one
role he's known as, and then he has like various other roles where he pops up. It's like, oh, it's Wally.
Yeah, he mainly plays like smaller roles, doesn't he? He doesn't have a whole lot of big roles
he just shows up from time to time. I'll have to look up his Wikipedia afterwards to look.
Yeah, me too. I never really thought about it before. Him and there's another voice actor who I always get him confused with.
Fred something?
Fred Tatasciore, that's it.
Yeah, he like he shows up like everywhere, but he's usually like the guy who like replaces voices.
Oh, okay. Doesn't he voice like Hulk on one of the Avengers cartoons?
I think he does, yeah. He's in a lot of the Disney cartoons too.
Oh, okay. But back to Whacked. I'm trying to think of levels I like. Can is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jeffrey's Kitchen might be one of my favorites just because it's so weird.
That level sometimes pisses me off though, especially when someone turns on the sink.
Oh yeah.
And then if you're stuck in there, you are stuck in there. You cannot get out. You are dead.
It really sucks you in.
Ha 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 ha.
Woo! But let's talk about those commercials.
Oh yeah, who made those? Behemoth or whatever?
Yeah, Behemoth Studios, the people who made Castle Crashers, Alien Hominid, other games I never played.
A lot of those it was when they were still starting out on Newgrounds, because I remember them promoting the game on Newgrounds too.
Yeah, they were like a much smaller company around that time.
Those commercials are funny as hell, and they still are funny as hell.
Yeah, there's the freeze, like they were mostly for the weapons, right?
Yeah, a few of them were like made up just to be funny, like the Scrapple, and then the most annoying sound in the world.
Scrapple is the one that I think of first every time.
I think everybody remembers that one at least, because it's the dumbest thing.
That one killed me the first time.
Yeah, but yeah, you're
kind
right.
Kind of like it killed all those pigs.
But yeah, you're right, because I remember every time they would introduce a new weapon, they would show the commercial first, and then they would give it to you.
Yeah, like they have the freeze ray, they have, didn't they have like the Hug a Cactus one when you get the cactus weapon?
Yeah, from the Hug a Cactus Foundation.
That one's a great one. I love the reaction.
And then Goodbye Doggy.
Oh yeah, goodbye doggy. Oh man. This is making me want to play Whacked after this is over.
That's a good idea. Like I said, I wish we had an HD remake, then we could play it online.
Yeah, I don't even want to do the rest of this stupid podcast.
Yeah,
let's just
end it. Yes, let's go play Whack.
But all right, Whacked is all well and good, but let's get to Freaky Flyers, which
you absolutely adore.
I love Freaky Flyers. I would say out of all of them, well, I don't know. I would put Whacked and Freaky Flyers on the same level of it's a good game.
Yeah, Freaky Flyers, though, is the meat and bones because it has all those characters. There's a lot to unlock. There's a lot to it than more than meets the eye.
It has a ton of characters. It has a ton of levels, tons of goals in each level. It has a ton of songs.
Yeah, I know. There's even some songs that are just in there just to be in there.
Yeah, just for the hell of it. And what does it have to show for it? Not great sales, no sequel, no nothing, and now Midway's dead.
Yep. Plus, well, yeah, pretty much.
But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What makes it more interesting, though, is the game was designed by Kevin Monroe, who, if you don't know who he is, he does a lot of direction work. Like, he did that CGI Ninja Turtles movie. He directed the Ratchet and Clank film, which I know didn't get good reviews, but I liked it enough.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
But we'll get to Ratchet and Clank later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it then.
Yeah.
But Freaky Flyers, I love the character designs.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're very cartoon. Like, not only is there 3D models, like the character selection's all 2D.
Oh yeah, I love the 2D artworort for the characters.
Oh yeah, they really pop out. Like, each character just has their own look to them. Like, none of them look the same.
Didn't Kevin Monroe draw those himself? Isn't he like the main artist?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Because I have the Ninja Turtle art of book. Like, it shows a history, and there is a 2-page spread of the CGI movie that he drew, and a lot of, like, especially Karai, it definitely looks like Freaky Flyers art.
That's awesome. I want to see that sometime. I haven't actually seen that movie even.
It's all right. I liked it enough.
Yeah, I mean, I hear it's pretty good.
But yeah, he definitely drew those.
That's awesome. I want to get screenshots of those sometime because those are really cool.
You definitely. I know I have, but like, it was back when I first discovered how to screenshot, so they're not very good quality.
Yeah, there has to be some way to get good HD quality versions of them someday.
Someday, yeah.
But yeah, I'd say the character models and the CG cutscenes are all really nice and cartoony, like kind of primitive, but I still think they look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the characters are really what sells the game because they each have their own storyline. So there's like a buttload of cutscenes in the game.
Yeah, I'd say that's the big reason for completing the game, playing through as like every character, even the characters that aren't as good. Like I don't think very many people are gonna remember Mick Bungadoo. But then again, I don't think very many people remember this game at all. So
Yeah, basically. But yeah, definitely. Like even Mick himself, like his character is just like it's cool looking. He's just a funny Australian guy who likes to cook stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All of the characters have something to them that make them entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
All the characters are pretty racist stereotypes, but
But what's
okay.
wrong? What's wrong with that? I mean, I know the day and age we're living in, but you know, it makes it funnier. I mean, they're not intentionally saying, "Oh, this is what they act like." This is just an over exaggerated parody of it.
Yeah, and I mean, they make fun of everyone, including Americans.
Yeah,
so how
like
racist
Johnny
can it be?
Turbine is so full of himself, but he's an American character.
Yeah, I mean, he's American, and he's probably the dumbest of the characters.
Yes, he is the dumbest character. They proved that.
So what characters, like, since I know this game has a shitload of characters, so what characters do you mostly play as in this one?
Cactus Rose, the Cactus Bandita, and Guten Tag and Sven, the little German scientist and his dumb-looking robot.
Guten Tag with his giant nose.
He definitely is giant. But yeah, those two were always my favorite, just because I like their designs, and Guten Tag was fun to play as, because, you know, he's on Sven, his giant robot.
And he has a funny voice.
He has a funny
Swedish voice.
He has a very... even though he's supposed to be German.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean, German! Cut. Whoever's editing this, cut that out. Make me say German.
What about you?
Let's see. So, I used to play as Tracy Torpedoes a lot, but lately I've been playing as Myrna Bookbottom, the British librarian.
Oh yeah, with a split personality.
Yeah, she's cute. I'd give her a smooch. I'd give her a smooch on the cheek.
Funny enough, like even though they made the characters separate too.
Yeah, I never really play as
Yeah, she's not.
Oh, what's her? Margaret Basher.
Yeah, the good side's a lot better than the evil side.
Yeah, and it's not that I dislike the alternate personality, it's that they have exactly the same cutscenes. So it's like, why bother?
Yeah, basically. And you also used, who's the Jamaican guy again?
Island Jack. Island Jack. He's awesome.
Yeah, and he has the best level, too.
Yeah, Danger Island.
I love that.
Yeah, Island Jack is a Jamaican narcoleptic. He's cool. He just has a cool design. He has a cool voice. He has super long dreadlocks that like completely cover his body.
He's pretty much all dreadlocks.
Yeah, he's dreadlock head, hands, and feet.
Basically, he sort of looks like Cousin It, but he's Jamaican.
Yeah. But like I said, all of the characters have something to them. So, I mean, I'd play as all of them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to go back and play through it, because I think I might... No, I think I have most of them unlocked. But still, I wouldn't mind going back and playing it.
Mm-hmm.
How about levels? There's a ton of levels.
Like I said, I already pretty much said Danger Island's the best level. It's such a cool looking level. I love the music in it. It's so relaxing. And then I
love how they have balloons of all the characters near the end. Something about that just like it has certain landmarks to it that make it feel like an actual place rather than just a jungle themed level.
And the cool thing about that is they were really smart about that, because the balloons they look like little dolls, and it's hanging over like what looks like a voodoo village, and if you shoot the balloons it would hurt that character.
Really? That I never knew.
Oh yeah,
or maybe
I've always known that.
I did know that and I forgot.
Because I remember shooting, like, my character's balloon, and I would get damaged. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And it's like, oh, okay. It's a voodoo
That makes
balloon.
sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a really smart thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love how all of the levels have, like, little goals to accomplish in each of them.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of variety in the character, because, like, a lot of the background characters in those levels you could unlock, too.
Yeah, like Bigfoot.
Yeah. Bigfoot's he gets his own song, too.
Isn't Bigfoot, like, the hardest one to unlock or something? Like, don't you only get him by getting a perfect score on the Pilot X boss stage?
That took me forever to do.
I've never done it yet.
I feel like Gutentag's the best for that, because Swen shoots out the lasers, so it's a lot easier to see the bullets.
That's true.
But yeah,
don't you need to be, like, perfect at it? Like, kill him as fast as you can while taking as little damage as you can?
Pretty much. It took me forever, but I managed it. And also, the giant rubber-suited monsters are really funny.
Oh, yeah, those are awesome. Rubber-suited monsters are great in anything.
Oh, definitely. It's funny, though, because, they're definitely, kaiju size, but they still have, the zippers on them. So they were definitely going for humor with this game.
Oh, definitely. Like, nothing about this game takes itself seriously.
Not at all.
Yeah, that's probably the best level. I'm trying to think of others that are really cool. Germany's alright.
I like Transylvania a lot too. That was a cool level.
Oh yeah, Transylvania's a great one. I really like Mexico.
Oh yeah, I love the fact you could definitely tell it's racist when you reach the Indian tribe. It's just a giant casino everywhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know it's racist, but it's funny as hell. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, agreed. I really like Canada too. It's a nice.
It's a good beginner.
It's a nice beginning level.
Yeah, definitely a good beginner because it gives you all the tasks are really easy to pull off. So they're okay, this is what you do to get faster in the game.
Yeah. I guess there's. Oh, what about the bonus stages? The inside the human body.
I'm so on the bonus stages. They have great music, but the stages themselves can be really frustrating.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I remember the first time doing the Banditos level.
Mm-hmm. Torpedo Run and Pilot X. They're alright, but they are definitely the most frustrating part of the game.
Yeah, you definitely got to practice at them before you can get good at them.
Great music, though. All of them have really great songs to them.
Yeah. Yeah, all of them. Well, not so much the human body. Well, that one's still good music.
That's more ambience music, because it sounds like you're in the body.
Yeah, exactly.
But every other one's sung by actual guys.
Yeah, I love Torpedo Run.
Yeah, and I absolutely love the Pilot X theme. It's so cool sounding.
Oh yeah, the B-52s type song.
Yeah, I love it though. It's so cool. I love that song.
Yeah, I mean, I love the B-52, so I love that one.
Yeah, me too.
It sounds like Johnny Turbine if you sing B-52s.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let's move on from Freaky Flyers. I'm gonna throw out one more one shot out of left field.
Okay.
I didn't have it on the list. We didn't really talk about it that much, but it's a game I know you love. Let's talk about Voodoo Vince for a while.
Oh, man. I still need to play the Xbox One version. I absolutely adore Voodoo Vince. I don't know what it is about it.
Well, I mean, you've played the Xbox version, so it's the Xbox One version isn't that much different.
Yeah, that's true. But
it looks nicer. So.
Yeah. I remember when I first tried it, I was just okay, let's give this a try just for shits and giggles. And I mean, graphic-wise, it is not the best looking at all, because you could tell it's one of the first Xbox games.
Yeah.
But Vince looks great. He has such a simple design, but it's such a memorable design.
Oh, definitely. I think it's a great character design. Pretty iconic.
It definitely is very iconic. And the game... again, the game graphic-wise, character design, it's pretty so-so outside of Vince and maybe a few NPCs, but there's a lot of charm to the game, because it it takes place in New Orleans. You got like this dark comedy going for it because voodoo stuff.
Yeah.
The music is fantastic. Props to Steve Kirk and his New Orleans jazzy whatever he does music.
The voodoo that he do.
Definitely, like that soundtrack's like one of the best game soundtracks. I would definitely put it on my top 10 if I had one.
Oh, definitely. Like, just fucking all of it sounds great.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's funny though. Like, I feel like that sells the game a lot. Is that soundtrack? Because everyone always brings that up when they talk about Vince.
Yeah, I was looking at a NeoGAF topic on it, and they were kind of so-so on the game. Some people liking it, some people hating it, but like everyone loved the soundtrack. I think there was like one guy who didn't like the soundtrack, and everyone else was like, "What?"
Yeah, but I feel like the soundtrack really helps the game a lot because, as we said, the game takes place in New Orleans, so you got the swampy areas, you got the downtown city areas, and the music really helps bring out the atmosphere in those levels.
Yeah, definitely.
It really helps the visuals to them because you're like, okay, you're in New Orleans, what would you expect to hear? Jazzy, dark, trumpet music, and it's like, it really helps the environment out a lot.
Yeah, they really go hand in hand with one another.
Yeah, definitely. Because like when you reach the mansion, like it plays like this ballroom, like this elevator music, and it really helps bring out Vince a lot.
Agreed. What would you say is your favorite of the soundtrack?
All of it. Are you kidding me? Probably Crypt City because it's so moody and slow going, but it's a really smooth jazz to it, and I love how that goes.
Yeah. You already know what my favorite is.
John Lafayette Ship.
Yeah, I love that one.
I agree. That's a great one too because it brings out the atmosphere because it's supposed to be like the broken down pirate ship, but it's bringing out like the fiddles and it's a brooding like a shanty. It's very shanty like.
Yeah, like I never thought about it until like right now, but it does really match the broken down pirate ship feel because like other games have piratey music, but it's like more upbeat, like Gangplank Galleon on Donkey Kong.
Exactly.
But this one is more somber, more slow.
Exactly. And then like again, it fits because like a few moments later you're in this fan boat race and it gets upbeat and it has that hillbilly sound to it.
The fan boat race is probably my second favorite.
Yeah, you love that area altogether because it's very swampy and whatnot.
It's awesome. Like you said, the character design's kind of hit and miss, but it's mainly like the human ones that kind of
you're right, because like the gas station pumps are cool looking.
Yeah, but even then, it's not like the human ones are that bad. Madame Charmaine's fine. The baddies. Cosmo has a good design. I like Cosmo's design. Yeah, Cosmo's really cartoony. I'd say Cosmo's probably the best of the humans.
Yeah, and he has the voice. I love his voice.
Yeah, the cracking teenage voice.
Yeah, that's great.
It's like he got stuck in puberty.
Yeah, but even his henchmen are really funny. I like the fact that like Cosmo talks to you like sort of like how Dr. Cortex does in Crash 2. But like, through a vision head and then his henchmen just sort of pop in there.
Yeah.
It's like, boss, where's the pickles?
Let's see. What are some other good designs? The creature designs are good.
I like the little imps in the graveyard levels. The turtle lady is all right.
Yeah, she's just kind of your mad scientist turtle lady.
Yeah, that's why I said she's all right. The doll is really scary looking.
Yeah, the doll is a great design.
Because she's just creepy all over looking. She definitely looks like one of those broken down porcelain dolls.
I love how one of her eyes is broken, like one of the eyelids keeps closing.
Yeah, it's such a nice touch.
I think my favorite design in the game is the two-headed alligator boss.
Yeah, the one boss Vince calls really cliche.
Yeah, I mean, it is cliche, but it's cool. It's cool.
It makes it funny that he actually calls it out for that, because he's like, oh, 2 heads, how original. And then it shoots lasers, and then he's like, oh, okay.
Oh, well, never mind. Honestly, a lot of the bosses in that game are really cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, except the dinosaur one, but that's not really a boss. That's just more like turn on the switches and do a thing.
I like I think the dinosaur one's pretty cool. But maybe that's more the area, because it has those, like, kind of cool purple and yellows to it.
Well, yeah, because it's supposed to look like a broken down museum or something.
Yeah, maybe it's more the area I like than the boss itself.
Yeah, because there's really not much to fighting the boss. It's just pretty much avoiding him and then turning on switches.
Yeah. The hurricane one, not a whole lot you can do with a hurricane.
That one, I like that one, though, because I like the fact, like, shit is just flying at you and you're dodging it.
Oh, yeah, like, the boss fight itself is fine. I just mean, design-wise.
Oh, well, it's because it's just a giant twister with evil eyes. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. Not a whole lot you can do with that.
Yeah, and then...
The Cosmobot has some really cool visuals.
Oh, yeah, that thing's huge, too. You wouldn't think about it, but when you actually get into the boss fight, it's a huge boss.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. I never actually finished the game up until the Xbox One release. I don't know why, because, like, I liked it, but... I don't know. But, so this, yeah, pretty much. Like, that's the way it always is whenever I'm playing a game and then just a new game comes along that I've been waiting on. But, so this was the first time I ever saw the Cosmobot, and it was really cool.
Oh, yeah. We normally try not to spoil each other's games, so how many years did it take me not to spoil the end of Voodoo Vince?
Like 10, like probably more.
10
like
years, and there's still a lot of other games I haven't spoiled to you yet.
I'll play them. But yeah, I mean I guess that's it for Vince. Like we said, the visuals aren't necessarily the best, but they have a lot of charm and personality to them.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely capture the New Orleans vibe very well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Wow, we've been talking for a long time already.
Oh,
but,
well, we can go longer. Who cares?
Yeah, screw it. Okay, I'm gonna go with one of my, if not my favorite game of all time. Let's go with the Banjo-Kazooie games.
Now, do you want to discuss Banjo-Kazooie, or do we want to throw Conker in there too?
Yeah, Banjo and Conker. I would say those are the two rare games that most stick out.
Yeah, in terms of cartoon. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Talk about Banjo. You love Banjo.
Yep, Banjo-Tooie and Kazooie are my two favorite games ever made. And honestly, the art style for the Banjo games is really, not all that much to it. Not all that much to say. They're not really that stylized. But,
until Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm probably in the minority who prefer the Nuts and Bolts designs.
Oh, I agree with you. I honestly prefer them because they add more personality to the characters.
Exactly. They do a lot more with them.
Mm-hmm.
But, that basically comes down to technology. Who knows what they would have done if they had stuck to more traditional designs.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But the Banjo-Kazooie games, really colorful levels. Each level kind of has its own color palette to them. Like, last time I played through them, I've been taking screenshots from them to kind of study the colors of the levels a lot more. And, like, the character designs are still good for the most part, but, like, early rare character designs kind of hit and miss. Like, some are really good, some are...
I don't know. I would honestly say, like, almost all of them in Banjo-Kazooie are really good. They're all they're very memorable. I don't think there's one I could forget about in that game.
Yeah, some are just kind of lazy. Like, for every Blubber the hippo captain, you get a Leaky the pot with eyes.
It's true. It's very true.
But, that's part of the charm of those early rare games. Just inanimate objects with googly eyes on them.
Pretty much.
But, yeah, those Banjo games... Honestly, like I said, they don't do that much for me art design-wise, but I just love the games. I just wanted to talk about them.
Well, why not? I love Banjo-Kazooie. I like Tooie a lot too, but I would honestly say the first Banjo is my favorite Banjo. Just probably because it's probably nostalgia because I know that game like the back of my hand, really.
Don't I know it? Every time I look at the Xbox Live scoreboards, there's every time I think, okay, I'm definitely gonna beat Phil's score this time, and then nope, not even close.
Yep. I'll take that with me. It's like, yep, I'm gonna take that as the best of something.
Yeah, like every time I tell someone, oh, I know Banjo-Kazooie like the back of my hand. Apparently, I don't know it as much like the back of my hand. But I would say I prefer Tooie a little more. Like, both of them are my favorite games, but I don't know, I just kind of prefer the way Tooie sets up the world. Like it feels like a world with actual locations in it, rather than being in Grunty's lair, just kind of having places that teleport.
Yeah, because you could definitely tell the first game was like, okay, we'll do it like Super Mario 64, where you jump into something, you go to the world. But yeah, as you said, Tooie sort of just sets up where the levels are located inside wherever. You can actually go to them, and they all connect somehow.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't have a problem with the way Kazooie sets up its world layout. I just, it kind of adds a little more having like an actual location to them.
Oh yeah, I mean, even what helps Tooie though, like you said, how the worlds connect, like even the levels themselves connect up. Like you can jump into like Grunty Industries pipes, like go into Jolly Roger's Lagoon.
Yeah, and like I see a lot of, like, especially recently, I've been seeing a lot of people not really caring for Banjo-Tooie for reasons like that, or like, backtracking, or like saying the worlds are too huge.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
They made the backtracking really easy. Like there's warps everywhere. It's like I don't see what there is to complain about. At least they give you a nice warp system everywhere. Even the hub world has a warp system.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like like I see a lot of people saying the levels are confusing, but I don't know, I never had a problem with them. Except for Grunty Industries.
Yeah, but who doesn't have a problem with that level? I'm sure even the guys who made the game have a problem with that level.
Yeah. It's funny, Greg Mails, the creative head of the Banjo games, he recently tweeted that even he feels like the Tooie levels were a little too big. But, I like exploring them. I loved seeing all the different locations in them, just seeing where every place went, seeing what could be in each location.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And like the Banjo-Kazooie levels are great too. Like they're smaller, more condensed. Like I'd say both games have their pros and cons to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Tooie is the much bigger game, I would say I've replayed Kazooie more often than I've replayed Tooie, just because it's way more easier to just sit down and play.
Oh yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I like to play. It's like, okay, I'll play Banjo-Kazooie. I can beat it in a few hours and be like, okay, I'm satisfied. But Tooie is definitely, even after playing Tooie so many times, I still sometimes have to be like, okay, where the hell is the Jiggy?
Oh my god, like the first-person segments, those are the worst.
Yeah, pretty much.
They have cool music, though.
Yeah, they got cool music. I mean, the only time the first-person shooter parts are good is when it's a mini-game like in the Pterodactyland.
Oh, like in Champa's Belly?
Yeah, because they're just mini-games. That's it.
Yeah, those are fine. And I see a lot of people hating the mini-games in Banjo-Tooie, too, but I think they're fine.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are just
They're basically just challenges that you do to get a Jiggy.
Yeah, and it's not like they're frustrating either. I mean, I think they were pretty legit easy on them.
Yeah, I can't think of any that really gave me that much trouble.
And especially compared to Donkey Kong 64's minigames.
Oh my god. Ugh. Especially in like the Wii U version when the frame rate is kind of more steady.
Uh-huh.
But that kind of screws you over in a lot of spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the one? Like the one where you have to like shoot the snake spinning the turtles or shoot the Kongs.
Yep. I hate the slot machine one in that.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, enough.
There's a lot to like about DK64.
But that's for another day. We can talk about DK64 some other day.
One thing I like about a lot of designs in the Banjo games, like, it's only on a few designs, but I like how some characters have like one eye bigger than the other, or like one eye is like half closed.
Oh yeah, that's what I liked about the mutant snippets.
Yeah, the mutant snippets do it. Klungo has it, I think.
Yeah, he does. At least in the
Frenchie?
original games, and Nuts and Bolts, they're like normal size again.
Yeah. I mean, they only really have Klungo in the 1 or 2 cutscenes in the first game.
Yeah, but
So-
then he becomes a much bigger character in the second game.
Yeah, thankfully. Like, he becomes, like, one of the best characters.
But yeah, he's definitely my favorite Banjo-Kazooie character, hands down.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I guess that takes care of the question I was just about to ask. Favorite Banjo-Kazooie characters?
It's always been Klungo, you know that.
Yeah.
Since you
The
said
audience doesn't
characters,
know that.
since you said
I know that.
characters, see who else.
And it can be any character. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to be, like,
I'm
main
thinking.
characters.
I really like a lot of the enemy designs a lot in the first game. Like, the snowmen, they're really cool looking.
Oh, yeah.
Mumbo Jumbo is definitely one of my favorite characters, but who doesn't love Mumbo?
Yeah, Mumbo's one of the best characters. I mean, he's like one of the characters that stuck around for every game.
Mm-hmm. I also really like, as much as I find them as an annoyance, I really like the Dragonfly enemies, Buzz Bomb.
Oh, yeah.
They're fun looking. Cool. They're annoying as hell, but I really like them.
Yeah.
What about you?
You know, a long time ago, my favorite character used to be Bottles, and, like, I still like him, but I think nowadays I would say my favorite is, probably Mumbo Jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
He just has that cool, tiki shaman look. Shaman. But, so they changed Mumbo's design between games. Which one would you say is your favorite for him? Because, like, in the first one, he's kind of creepier looking. He has, like, dark, sunken-in eyes, and in the second one, they kind of made him look,
remember, in the first game, they imply that Gruntilda turned his head into a skull, but, like, they sort of, like in the second, in Tooie and Nuts and Bolts, they sort of made it like it is his head, like he always had it.
Yeah. Like, the skull kind of wraps around his head.
Yeah, and it sort of just looks like he's wearing a big yellow mask.
Maybe it grew around what his head used to be.
Yeah, the skin formed over. It's like, okay.
He looks like a horrendous burn victim.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Nuts and Bolts design for him is my favorite.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't used to like his Nuts and Bolts design, but the last time I played it, I really came around to it. I really like the facial expressions.
Yeah, especially like the one where he's like, "Hey."
Yeah, he's kind of like a cocky bastard.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I don't really care for the overalls on him, but you know that basically comes down to him being a grease monkey.
Yeah, I was about to say that was the theme of the game where they were just selling you vehicles.
Yeah, so I hope if we ever do get another Banjo game, like, you know, even with Ukulele out, I don't want the Banjo series to, you know, just die off just because Ukulele's around. But, yeah, I kind of hope he goes back to his shaman look.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, enemy designs, I like the Grill Chompas a lot.
Oh yeah, they're cool looking. They're just like they're giant worms.
Yeah, they're big slugs with little arms.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, when you kill them.
It's funny. When I was a kid, I always thought the ones in Mad Monster Mansion killed you in one hit, the skeleton ones, and it was because I think I just had like low health.
Every time you got to them, they would just kill you.
Yeah, so I just assumed, oh Jesus, they kill you in one hit. Stay away from those guys. I thought that until I was a grown man.
Oh, there you go.
Until I was like, oh, I guess not. But, one really small character I really like is Captain Black Eye in Banjo-Tooie.
Oh yeah, and now he apparently is coming back in Sea of Thieves, maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe. That's not confirmed, but I hope he does.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know that he's there. I mean, they kept throwing him other places.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be filled with little Easter eggs to other Rare games, as Rare tends to do.
But yeah, he has a cool design, and he's just hanging out in Jolly's bar. Yeah,
I don't know what it is about him. I mean, he's just kind of like your generic pirate, but he's just cool looking. Like his character, his model in the game is just kind of cool. Like he's he's so much bigger than like all the other characters. He's just kind of like this giant asshole.
He doesn't even do anything. All he does is give you a few doubloons, and that's it.
Yeah.
And falls
It's
over
funny.
drunk.
Yeah, it's funny since he was meant to be like the main villain of the original version, Project Dream.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like he says, a bear stole my dream.
Yeah. Maybe that's part of why I like him, just because he kind of has this added bit of mystery to him.
Uh-huh.
But as far as like baddies go, oh no, I already said baddies. We talked about Grill Chomp. But I honestly, a lot of the banjo designs are pretty solid. Like I said, it's not going for like a super stylized cartoony look, but you know, it suits the cartoony fractured fairy tale kind of look, and like all the designs are pretty solid.
Well, yeah, but like even Nuts and Bolts, they went a little more cartoony with them. Like Bottles, when he lifts his glasses, he has like the really tiny eyes.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad they went more stylized with them in that one.
I know a lot of people hated it, but it's like, well, how do you jump from Nintendo 64 to 360 with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, do they hate it because they legit hate it, or did they hate it because it was different?
Probably because it was different. I mean, yeah, Nuts and Bolts is to be desired for because of the gameplay, but would they really hate the designs if it played like an original Banjo game?
Yeah, because like apparently they were kind of going for that similar look even before.
Well, yeah, because even in the first trailer, the teaser trailer, they had that design, and everyone's like, "Oh, yay, Banjo's back!"
Yeah, and even before that, you know how they were kind of making, like they said one of their first ideas for it was like a pseudo remake of the first game, like kind of like making the game but making things different about the levels and stuff.
Yeah, sort of like Ratchet and Clank for PS4.
Yeah, exactly. But Steve Mails, the character designer for the game, put up a couple animated GIFs of a couple of the character models for that game, and they had like a really cubey looking Conga Kong.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I thought it was cool looking.
Yeah, that still looked really cool. I'm glad they went down that route. Although Nuts and Bolts also has one of the only character designs I don't like, Trophy Thomas.
Yeah. Well, even Kazooie considered him a very lame character.
Yeah, who can blame her? He just kind of looks like your average DeviantArt tier.
Yeah, and he's such a jackass. He's very unlikable.
Yeah, he has that like toothy grin. He just has like weird face markings. He has like bright neon blue hair.
Yeah, and again, he's a jackass because he's smarmy about everything. He's like, "Oh, you beat my score, I guess."
Yeah, no one likes him. I would not be surprised if he never came back. but then again, he was in the trailer for that Fast and the Furious game.
Well, that was back when Nuts and Bolts was still out.
Yeah, that was kind of riding off the heels of that.
Yeah.
I still hope we get a Rare racing game someday. I thought it looked cool.
Oh yeah, I love the concept. I would totally use Joanna Dark in that. Yeah,
I just I don't know, I'm a sucker for big character get-together crossover things like that, or Smash Brothers, or even like PlayStation All-Stars, or even like that PS Move PlayStation game. I heard the gameplay was not all that great.
Yeah, but it's a neat concept nonetheless.
Yeah, it's still fun seeing the characters all interact with one another.
Okay, speaking of Rareware, how about we talk about Conker for a bit?
Yes, let's talk about Conker for a little bit. Conker took a different sort of approach to its character designs. It did kind of go for a more cartoony look.
12 Tales had the cutesy look first.
Yeah, not all that interesting.
Yeah, and then
sugar-coated.
Yeah, everything was more cutesy than Banjo-Kazooie. Everything, including the giant monsters, had the cute eyes, and then
yeah, and it's not that it even looked bad. I mean, it still looked good for an N64
It was just
game.
really cavity-inducing, is what it was, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But then it got retooled into Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yep, and I feel like that's definitely the most cartooniest Rareware's ever done, because Conker still maintains the cutesy eyes, but every other character does not.
Yeah, and even Conker, he does wild takes and stuff, and he has the cartoony white gloves, so he still fits in perfectly.
Oh yeah, definitely, he definitely fits in. But every other character, just their eyes, they don't have the cute eyes; they just have the dilated pupils, and the Weasel characters look like they came out of Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, they're like straight up Roger Rabbit Weasel ripoffs.
Which I don't mind. I love those designs.
Yeah, they're cool. One thing I would use to describe how Conker's Bad Fur Day looks is the N64 version has more of kind of like a Looney Tunes Tex Avery sort of vibe. As much as an N64
it's gory and violent, but it's like cartoony gory and violent.
Yeah, exactly. When they did the remake for Xbox, they kind of went into more like Pixar DreamWorks territory with the designs. On
that.
I don't hate them, but I do prefer the N64.
Yeah, the fur textures definitely don't help either.
Yeah. Like, I know a lot of people shrugged off the Project Spark Conker, but I think that's actually the best he's ever looked.
Oh, yeah.
I love that character.
Because he maintains the Bad Fur Day look again, because he has just his blue jacket and his gloves, but he looks more stylized now.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of looks like a whittled little wooden figure.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like the way he looked in it, like, he sort of had, like, that mischief, like, look to him, like, oh, he's up to no good. Sort of like Bugs Bunny a bit.
Exactly. I think that's something that the Xbox version lost. They were definitely going for more of a just kind of cutesy look for him.
Well, yeah, that, and they were just trying to monerize him. It's like, oh, let's just put shorts on him. He's so cool looking.
Get rid of those white gloves. Who wears those cartoony white gloves anymore?
Yeah, and then
this is Xbox.
Yeah, and then like in the spooky level, they had to dress him up as Van Helsing for some stupid reason.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that really paid off. That's a movie that everyone remembers.
Yep. So you remember this movie? Okay.
Why does Conker have that weird wig? It's especially weird since it just comes out of nowhere. At least his other costume changes have context.
It's like, oh, my costume changed as soon as I walked through the portal. I wonder how that works.
Yeah, just whatever. Just throw it on him.
Yeah.
One thing, I do really like how they changed the spooky area to look more like a village. Though.
Oh yeah, that was a nice touch. That was probably like one of the nicest things they did for that game graphic-wise.
Yeah, like, even though I do prefer the N64 version overall, I do think Live and Reloaded did a lot of... It did do some cool things. The
environments look better.
Environments look better. I think Birdie was probably the only character design I preferred in Live and Reloaded. I liked his, like, straw hat, and he had the gloves.
Oh yeah, that definitely added a lot. I kind of... I want to say I like how Booga the Nut kind of looked, because... Like, he had, like, the colored eyes in this, so he sort of looked like he was, more wasted looking.
Oh, he kind of looked more psychotic. Yeah, I could see that.
He definitely had more of that, oh, he's a big, stupid cave. Like, he just looked like a stupid caveman in the first game, which he is, but, like, they just added a little more to him in Live and Reloaded. I think it helped a little bit.
One thing I think that helped set Conker apart from Banjo is how, while Banjo used, like, a lot of, like, bright colors, Conker used a lot more, subtle colors. Like, it still had bright colors here and there, like the greens and yellows of the grass, but, like, it used a lot more, like, deep greens and, like, browns, especially in, one level.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it did a lot to stand out from the other Rare games, even though it was still, another cartoony animal platformer.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't want to say I think Live and Reloaded looks bad. Even though I prefer the 64 version, it's definitely probably one of the best the best looking Xbox games.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, didn't that come out, like, near the end of the Xbox life?
Yeah, came out early 2005, so same... Cameo and Perfect Dark Zero came out later that same year.
Yeah, so that's when the 360 was rushed out.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at Live and Reloaded, it looks good enough to stand up next to those 360 games, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Plus, the updated music, really, it's like, okay, they're definitely pushing it. Well, they did that with the 64. Like, Conker came out of the N64 lifespan, but it's probably one of the nicest N64 games in terms of design.
Yeah. I mean, it had full voice acting. The character models were well animated. Like Conker had like lip syncing to him. You didn't see a whole lot of that.
Rare knows how to push it to the limit. They always have.
They always do.
Mm-hmm.
And Conker for Project Spark, I already said Conker himself looked great. Birdie looked okay in that. He looked pretty good. Kind of a little overly simple. Did you ever play the Project Spark one?
No, I never got around to it, which I guess doesn't matter since they sort of killed off Project Spark shortly after.
Yeah, I really liked it for what it was. Like, it was limited by what you could do in Project Spark, but it felt like they really got what made it a Conker game.
Yeah, well, it helps that they had Chris Sever help them too.
Yeah, I'm glad he's always willing to come back and voice Conker whenever they need him, even if it's for young Conker.
Yeah, but we won't dwell on the young Conker. That's something.
Yeah, we're talking about game design that we like. So. Yeah, I mean, there's other Rare games that could be talked about, but that would take up the whole podcast, so let's leave it at that for Rare.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess Dustin and Phil had a lot to say. So much that there's actually another episode's worth of material we've got. So we'll go ahead and cut it right here, and we'll pick it up again next week. So, thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch a new episode every week. Also be sure to follow us on our Facebook and Twitter so you can keep up with the show. Links are in the description. We'll see you next week.